Hey everybody. So about 2 weeks ago, I was watching this course from Paul Albin called Revit Tips, Tricks, and Troubleshooting. It's a fantastic course. There's a lot of information in it on a variety of Revit topics, so I definitely recommend checking it out. This particular episode was about exposing some of the legacy behaviors, so some of the old families and their functionality. And the lack of functionality in some of them, and kind of what you would need to do to get around it. And specifically, what we're going to look at is the older families, which is these ones here that do not have an edit family button. And so we're going to look at that and how we can pull that geometry from those families into an updated 2020 family template. It's a workaround because it's going to pull out an SAT file and then import it into the 2020 family template. But it's good enough. It's better than not being able to edit the family at all, or save it or do anything with it. So these are the oldest families here, the ones without the edit functionality, but you find some older families that don't have an offset from levels, and you also can't delete the last type. We're not going to look at those, but what we are going to look at is the old ones, because these ones you can actually edit them, and you can grab the geometry, and you can pull it into a new family. And you can also leverage Dynamo to look at the parameters and other information and pull that information over as well. So we're going to primarily look at this one. And so I'm going to go ahead and close this, and then in Revit, we'll just look at the actual families. So here we've got a stool, and you can see we can do the elevation, and then this old family here, we can't do the elevation, but we can edit, whereas we can't edit in this older family. If I go down here, you can see that if we right-click, we can't edit or save this family, so it's stuck in the project. Now you can take that family and copy it into another project, so that works, but as for saving it or doing any kind of edits, you're kind of stuck unless you have the original family. So what we're going to look at is recreating this into an updated family. So you can see here I have a chair. I have the stool inside of the family, and if we edit the family, we can go in there, and it's got geometry that we can interact with. We can recreate that information. We can do whatever we want, but we can now at least edit that family. So in Dynamo, it's really easy. I won't explain all of this. I think it's mostly straightforward, but we'll start off with grabbing the geometry, and then we'll do categories. We'll do a code block with the name, and for this one we're just going to do JK Stool 2020. Then we'll do the path to the family template, and then we'll just do a material, and then I leave the subcategory default. So if you hover over this, you can see that it does create a SAT and then imports it into the family. I'm going to go ahead and run this. You'll see it creates the family, and then we can drag that into the project, and then you can see we can now edit that family. So kind of cool, you can edit it and add, other parameters or do whatever you need to that family, but you can easily pull that geometry out. So if you happen to have an old project with a lot of families in it, and you want to be able to pull that into updated families, then this is one way that you could do that really quickly by leveraging Dynamo. And so we'll look at one more. We'll just take this JK table, and then we'll do the same thing. So over here, we'll just do select. Oops. Alright, so we got the table. Now we'll just do update the name, and then it should be good, and we'll just run it. And now we'll just search for this. Or actually, it's right there. So we can just go down here, grab it, pull it in, and you can see now we have that family. We can go to edit family, and then, you know, we can actually interact with this geometry. It's very simple geometry, so it's, you know, if you have hundreds of these, you know, inside of a project, it may be easier to leverage Dynamo to quickly at least get it into 2020, quickly create those, and then, or, you know, and then maybe recreate the geometry if you need it to be native family geometry. And then, but if not, this is a, you know, fantastic workflow. You can just automate the entire thing in Dynamo. If you don't need to you know, do any post editing or pre-editing or anything like that, you know, you could individually, you know, create the families. But if the geometry itself is fine with you, then this is a fantastic way to automate it. So inside of Dynamo, you know, depending on your families, you may have a variety of different families. Furniture, maybe some mechanical equipment, and you want those in, you know, the correct template path or in the correct category and stuff. You may need to start playing with the list. So grab all the geometry, figure out and kind of group those together, and then create some lists with different categories, and then do the same thing with the templates. And then you should be able to quickly automate that if you have a project with a ton of these old families. If you happen to do that and you happen to have that, you know, let me know. And if you get stuck, and, you know, we can look at that and how to automate that. It's really easy to do. It would be cool if I could apply this to my projects, but we don't really have any of those kinds of families. But let me know if this is something that you leverage on your projects or you leverage in your firm to quickly grab that geometry out and pull it into the updated families. I'd love to know. But anyways, this is what I got. Let me know if you have any questions, and feel free to like, share, comment, and I'll see you in the next one.